to you guys for a bit about finding the inverse of a function algebraically. To find the inverse of a function, we have 4 steps that we take. So step 1, we want to replace f of x with the letter y, just because y is a little bit more familiar to us when we're working with algebra operations. Step 2, we're going to switch x and y. So in our function, we're going to take the x and the y and just swap their places around. Step 3, we then want to solve for y, so we're trying to get y by itself on one side of the equal sign. And then finally, step 4, we're going to replace y with this notation right here, f inverse of x. It looks like an exponent of a -1 after the f, but we say f inverse of x. So for our first example, we have the function f of x equals 2x squared minus 5. So following our list of steps, step 1, we need to replace f of x with the letter y. So our function changes to y equals 2x squared minus 5. Now step 2, we need to switch x and y. So coming over here to our function, we're going to change the places of x and y. So instead of y equals, it becomes x equals 2y squared minus 5. So the only thing that's going to change places is those variables. All of the numbers, all of the exponents, all of the operations stay in the same spot. So just those variables change. And then step 3, we need to solve for y. So when we're solving an equation, we work our order of operations backwards. So starting with addition and subtraction. So in our problem over here on the right-hand side, we've got a minus 5. So to get rid of that minus 5, we're going to add 5 to both sides. Since minus 5 and plus 5 are inverses or opposites of each other. So that gives us x plus 5 equals 2y squared. So after addition and subtraction, we take care of multiplication and division. So we've got 2y squared. We want to get y by itself, so we need to get rid of this 2 that's in front of y squared. So to get rid of 2 times y squared, we divide both sides by 2. And that gives us x plus 5 over 2 equals y squared. And then after multiplication and division, we move on to exponents. So we have y squared, our exponent is a 2. To get rid of an exponent of 2, or something squared, the opposite of that is going to be to take the square root. So we take the square root of both sides to get rid of that power of 2 with the y, which gives us the square root of x plus 5 over 2 equals y. So now we have completed step 3, we solved for y, since y is now by itself on one side of the equal sign. The last thing we have to do is replace y with f inverse of x. So coming down here to this equation, we're just going to change y to f inverse of x. So we have the square root of x plus 5 over 2 equals f inverse of x. And that would be our answer.